We are live! Yay! Hey, everybody! This is Suzette West here, and with me today is Sophie Bretag. Did I say that right?
You
Bretag?
did. Well done.
Cool. And she has graciously agreed to come on live with me so we can find out all about Sophie. She's going to be joining the Heart Conscious Leaders Club on Clubhouse, and we're going to be talking about anchoring into authenticity and standing in our power, which is, a pretty major topic these days because it's such a departure from the way most people tend to just try to conform in order to fit in order to be accepted. So it just kind of feels like people are starting to wake up to the fact that, we serve the world at our best when we are authentic to our own hearts. But before we get into that, we want to hear all about Sophie. Sophie, congratulations. I just heard you've been nominated for an award. Please tell us about that. I am so excited and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here, Suzette. Every time I speak to you, I feel completely energized and excited. So it's just super lovely to be here with you and be connected with you. And I think, the award thing is completely overwhelming. It was only announced the other day. And so it's an award around passion and passion in your life and business. And anyone who meets me, I think, can realize that I'm very kind of loud. And excuse me, I've just got my children hopping into the room here. So talk about being authentic. Can you boys go back out to Nanny? Thank you. Sorry, you wouldn't know, on 60-acre farm, and then all of a sudden they find me. Yes, anyway, sorry, excuse that. But the award is around being passionate in your life and in your business. And
tiny teddies.
Sorry, Suzette, I'm just going to.
Tiny teddy.
Can you go into the room with Nanny, please? Sorry.
No worries.
Yes, out you go. Excuse us. We'll just put everybody out into the other room. You'd never know there's two other parents, adults in there, that could look after kids. But anyway.
This is beautiful. I love it.
It's about being authentic.
Yeah. This is totally authentic.
Just rolling
this is
with
real life, man.
Life, how it is. So it's pretty exciting, to be honest, that I'm being involved in these awards. They're to do with passion. There's different categories all around the life pillars, and they're getting announced. The winners will be announced next Friday, the 26th. So pretty pumped, actually. So
So I'm going to be hoping for you, because I know you are just this bright light in the world, and I love that you call yourself a kindness expert. Like, how profound, and yet so it reaches people, right? To be kind, but it's so powerful, to just. There was a meme that I found that said, if you can be anything in the world, be kind. In a world where you can be anything, be kind.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, I'm such a firm believer in being kind to others, but also being kind to ourselves. So when I talk about kindness and being kind, I talk about making sure that we, set the boundaries around ourselves, which is being kind to ourselves and also being kind to other people. Being kind around self-care, being kind in the workplace, and trying to be as empathetic and understanding as you possibly can be with other people. And it really is a superpower. I think people really underestimate the power of kindness and how that can really change the world. And I get on my kindness soapbox because I just think it's such a simple thing that you can implement in your everyday life. and yet so many people don't take the time to do it, or don't even, it's not even on their radar.
Right. Right. Yeah. And this, what you said about kindness towards self. I mean, wow. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm kinder to other people than I used to be kinder to other people than I would treat myself. And a lot of people are like that too. Like they'll treat people outside of themselves kinder than they do themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and there was somebody who asked me like a long time ago, she was like, if you had a little child right in front of you and she was having a hard day, would you talk down at her and say, you know, unkind things to her? I was like, of course not. It's like, well, you gotta treat yourself, you know, you treat yourself that way. So, and that opened my eyes like, oh my gosh, that's true. I'm harder on myself than I am with anybody else.
It so is. And self-kindness, you know, I think it takes often as well when you are used to being a caregiver, and I think a lot of women are brought up to be, you know, it's changing a little bit now, but I really feel like women have been brought up to be the caregivers and the ones who give to others. And then they often are attracted, a lot of women are attracted into caregiving jobs. And so who's giving to the person, you know, if they're not looking after themselves,
Right.
where are they getting their kindness and love and support and care from? And
Right.
so, yeah, so if we're not actively carving out time every day to be kind to ourselves, you end up having such an empty cup because you are just giving to everybody else. And so I think for me, kindness is just, it's just been life-changing. The more kind I've become to myself has then allowed me to then give more kindness to other people. And it's almost like this knock-on effect of the better you feel about yourself, the more you give to yourself, the more that you're able to then give to other people. And it's just, it's a win-win.
Yeah, yeah, that reminds me of a saying that said, when you go on an airplane and they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before you help someone else. It's like right along the lines of that, because we can't, like you said, we can't give from an empty cup.
No.
And we have to have that sense of care for ourselves and kindness for ourselves to know that in order for us to show up at our best for others, we first have to give to ourselves, you know, fill up that cup before we start serving, because otherwise we self-deplete and then we have nothing to give, right? So that's really important. That's one of the main lessons. Like when I really just started turning my life around, that was one of the first lessons that I had to learn, was to learn how to discern where am I emotionally right now? Like, am I feeling depleted? Or if I'm like going, trying to get something done, and then I'm starting to feel my energy drop, it's like I over time, it's like I had to learn like to stop when I feel like that, so that I can just like, okay, my body is telling me it's tired. I need to come to a certain point and just pick this up tomorrow and let myself rest. Before that, I used to work myself. I was gonna finish whatever I started, but I was so burnt out by the end of the day, I would just cry.
Oh, see,
I
and
would just cry.
it's, and that's the thing. And I, you know, I've got friends who and I think in this, you know, this connected world that we live in as well, I mean, as amazing as technology is, and as amazing as being able to connect with people like you and me, you know, I'm in the future and you're in the past, you know, if we look at the time zone.
Yeah.
It's, you know, sort of blows my mind a little bit actually. But you know, it also then it gives us that ability to connect with everybody, but also where is the boundary to actually stop and give that time to yourself and be able to take care of yourself.
Right.
And it's almost like I've had to make an active decision to turn off at the end of the day, or log off, because otherwise you could just be online 24/7, because there's always something happening, there's always somebody talking about something, there's always somebody posting something, sharing something, and it almost does become overwhelming. And it is. You just push, go. People are contacting you via email sometimes for work, and if you work in different time zones in the middle of the night. So how do you set that boundary for yourself so you don't get to the burnout?
Exactly.
Mm.
So so now let's kind of move into the topic that we're going to be talking about on November 26th. I'm really excited about the topic. It really is near and dear to my heart because there was a time when my external environment determined who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to people please and please everybody. And you know how impossible that can be. But you still try to do it because you want to be in good harmony with everyone. So it's like you're trying to please this person, you're trying to please that person, you're trying to do this because this person wants you to do it this way, and then this other person, it's just like,
yes,
you're not anchored into your true self. So tell me, and I'd like you to maybe talk about, like, what does it look like when a person is not anchored into their authenticity and literally giving their power away to others? What does that look like? What have you seen in your experience?
I love that question because I think it looks different for everybody. And if you're not anchored into your own sense of self and your own authenticity, then you won't be able to connect with people at all, really, on a deep level that will, have some substance to it. So for me, if someone is not anchored in themselves, doesn't really have a clear understanding of who they are as a person, and I've been there, I've certainly been the person that changes to fit with the situation, perhaps spent time with people who didn't feed my soul and instead depleted it, and yet I still kept trying to please them and fit in and do what I felt would be the right thing for everybody. So I think from my perspective, not having a clear sense of self looks like perhaps getting frustrated with people sometimes, not being able to articulate clearly your own needs. And so often that can lead to conflict. I think also there comes with a level of lowered energy as well. And so I find that the people who I am energized by after I've spent time with are often people who are very, very clear about who they are and what they're putting out into the world, their energy levels, and I guess how they perceive themselves in a very clear sense of self. Often people who I feel depleted after being around, so a little bit tired, or I feel a little bit kind of flat, are often people I find that don't really have a clear sense of who they are, and they're often sort of in this in-between energy of they're sort of not living their true life and their true self.
Right.
So I think it looks different to people, but I think if you have a clear sense of your own self and you're living your own authentic, unapologetic pathway through this life, then I think you have a much better radar for being able to see where you can either help people do that or perhaps not spend time with the people as much who deplete you.
Right. So basically, we lose our sense of self. We lose our sense of, who are we? Who am I? And it's just, and it can become a habit. So like for me, that's pretty much like, I didn't like myself because I didn't know myself, because I was always focused on external showing up for this person this way and showing up for that person that way. And it's so energy intensive. It takes so much resources to morph into this for this person and be this person for it. It's so very energy intensive. And then what I found is that when I anchored into my own heart, my own authenticity, it was like, okay, I'm showing up as no matter who it is, I'm showing up as me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm showing up. So there's that power.
Yes.
There's that inner power it's a type of inner power that is radiant. I mean, you feel when someone is authentic. You feel that strength, that inner knowing, that self-love, that that person who is connected to themselves. It's an energy that is discernible.
It
But when
is.
So
it's palpable, because you can sort of walk into a room, I think, and the clearer I've got on who I am and the less apologetic I have become at being brave and showing up as me, and caring less what people think about who I am, and knowing that my path is my path and everyone else's path is their path. It's really clear once you start becoming your true self and embodying that in everything that you do. It's very clear to be able to see who else is like that, and it's magnetic.
Yes,
it really
very
is
magnetic. Absolutely, it's very magnetic, and especially when it comes to having, when it really counts. Also, I mean, it always counts, but when it's time to have a crucial conversation, right? It's like, and you're anchored into that who you are, you can with love speak the truth. Say, I am coming from this is me, this is how I feel. And you may not agree, and that's okay. Right?
It's
not like, right? Yeah. And you have the strength to do that. Say, okay, we don't see eye to eye. That's okay. This is how I feel, and I respect how you feel, but this is how I feel about it. And nothing's right or wrong. It's just a different way of seeing things, right? And that's what we can do when we are anchored into we know our own hearts.
Yes, completely. Like, I completely agree with you, Suzette, because as I've got older and I have practiced this more, because it's a practice thing, having these conversations and being, embodying who you are. And am I good at it all the time? Absolutely not. Am I perfect? No, because nobody is. But do I get up every morning and try to live my best life and the most authentic life that I can? Absolutely. And do I do it with kindness towards myself and other people? Absolutely. But it's a practice thing. You have to really have that mindset that you're going to have the difficult conversations, and I suppose having an awareness of how you're doing that. Like, I love how you say, coming at it from a perspective of love, that it's okay if you don't see eye to eye. It's okay if you don't want the same things, or you don't want to go about resolving something in a way that is the same as somebody else. But if you can come at the conversation from a place from the heart and from love and from understanding, it will come out in a less aggressive and I suppose confronting way, because you really are trying to look at it from the other person's perspective at the same time as giving yours. It's like it's a game changer.
Yeah, it totally is. It totally is. So, my dear, how can people find your magnetics? Can get in touch with you and get in touch with your magic, and you just are an amazing person. I'm just so excited to be connected with you, and
Same.
to hear you talk. I love it.
Me too. been so great about LinkedIn is, you know, we got to connect via LinkedIn. And I think, you know, it's almost like you can tell on, even in social media, the energy of the person that's on the other end and whether they're authentic or not, and whether they're really someone who is going to be aligned with your values and aligned with who you are sort of in here. And as soon as we connected, I was like, you are such an amazing human being. And I was super excited when we connected because I was like, woohoo, she's amazing. And so, you know, I think if people want to connect with me or we connect with you because you're just amazing and inspiring and changing the world, you know, one heart at a time, which is just beautiful. LinkedIn would be honestly, like, I'm gonna get a bit emotional about it, Suzette, because honestly, people like you are literally changing the world. And by making connections, you know, like we have, and other connections that you have with other people and others that I have with other people, and having these conversations, I think LinkedIn is the perfect platform for that, because at the end of the day, it might be a business networking site, but it's really not. It's a whole human networking site, because once you start showing up authentically and as who you are, all of a sudden, all these people who are at the same energy level and are, you know, showing up in the world authentically will then start landing on your page, will then start connecting with you. And so LinkedIn for me is the best way. I'm on Instagram as well, under my business, Meta Leaders. But LinkedIn, you know, it's just the best because it's just easy for everyone.
Awesome. Well, I will be sure to link your profile as well. I'll tag you on the comment in the comments so people can reach out and connect with you. You know, this is a vision that I see, that is it's a work of art in progress. The big vision is a co-creation between all heart-centered leaders that are in this world who have felt like they have been walking this planet alone for way too long. And we're finding each other. We're finding each other and we're co-creating magic. We're bringing more heart into the world. We're bringing more kindness, more compassion.
Yes.
We are changing the world. We absolutely are. And we're doing it together. That is what's so exciting. Because when people like, oh yeah, I feel it too. And people just start, you know, we start calling in every heart-centered leader is we're going to find each other. And the more that we find each other, it's just going to grow. So thank you so much for showing up.
And sorry about the family interruption, but if we're talking about authenticity, nothing like people running in and asking for tiny teddies in the middle of a live, you know.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. So, Sophie, thank you for taking the time from your family and your day. I know it's morning where you are, and thank you so much for jumping on this mini interview. Everyone, please connect with Sophie. She's an amazing human being, beautiful heart, and please do join us on November 26th because one of the things I really love about Clubhouse is that it allows the audience to engage with the speakers. We can ask questions, we can interact with each other, we can have really authentic conversations, that's what sparks awareness. And awareness sparks activation of transformation.
And change. Yep.
And change. So please join us November 26th. I'll put all the links in the comments. I'll tag Sophie so you know how to reach out to her. She is an amazing, amazing human being. And I can't recommend her more. I can't recommend her highly enough. So
it's like a love fest here, isn't it?
I love you, Sophie. So yeah, so thank you so much. And this is only my second time broadcasting, so I think I pressed this red end broadcast But is there any last minute words you want to say before we click the end broadcast?
I don't think so. Just, connect with people who are like-minded. Spend time with people who boost your energy and who, send out the love to other humans, because there are so many good humans out there doing good things. And often we hear all the bad stuff and we don't focus on the amazing stuff that people are actually doing. So connect with Suzette. Oh, amazing. And some of the people that she's got on her connections are just equally amazing. And join us on the 26th on Clubhouse.
Yay.
Can't wait. Yay.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. And we will see you on November 26th. Bye.